Hello and welcome. I am super excited to dive deeper into your individual mindset and what that means for achieving your health goals. Okay. And as you saw with all my promos, this class is for you. If you've been feeling like no matter how hard you try, you can't really seem to make your progress last and stick towards working towards your health or body goals. Maybe you've been feeling like you've been living in a body that you're just not really happy with, but you can't seem to just quite get yourself started. It's like you want to make change, but something's holding you back from getting started. Or maybe you have started, you've made some progress, but you can't seem to let that progress be sustainable and last long term. You guys can type me in the chat if you identify with any of these. Let me know. And my aim today really is that I want you guys to leave here just feeling empowered and driven to start going after your goals and pushing through any obstacles that may have kept you waffling along on your wellness journey. Okay. But let's start with some introductions. I am Leanna. I'm a mommy to a 7-year-old Spitfire daughter named Maya. She's just like me. That's my Alexa. Alexa, stop. Sorry. But I'm a mom to a Spitfire. My 7-year-old daughter, Maya, she is just like me. We have very similar personalities, so we often clash, which is why I call her a Spitfire. I also am recently wifed up to my found again high school love, Shamari. He's wonderful. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm also a registered nurse, and I continue to help. I'm still a registered nurse. I continue to help hundreds of patients learn how to manage their health. And I'm also a fat loss and mindset wellness coach. I use both areas of expertise to help busy mom and busy women like myself regain a love of their bodies and just feel amazing and learn to find themselves again by building sustainable, healthy habits and mindset shifts like the ones that we're going to be discussing today. So at the end of the class, I also have an amazing offer to kickstart your new year and get you the health and the body that you guys have always wanted. So health and wellness does not always come easy. And, I admit that my life before I made the decision to take control of my health, it wasn't a fully lived life. I remember that I would avoid invitations to places because, I was just simply exhausted all of the time. An 8:30 p.m. class like this, I probably would not have done. I was too exhausted after a full day of work. Let's not forget about, the stress of just thinking about having to get dressed up to go outside, to go to whatever event or go out to dinner or whatever, having nothing really fit me right. And, having to look at myself in the mirror and just know that I really had no one, but myself to blame for feeling unhappy with my body. I had started and stopped wellness journeys in the past. And going through my most recent wellness journey, I realized that it was really my mindset that kept me from making any truly sustainable positive changes. Because I would spend months at a time either avoiding making any changes at all. I would tell myself things like, oh, this is not the right time for me to do this, or let me wait till the new year, or, life is too busy right now. Or if I did decide to get started and got started, I would often find, some kind of reason to quit. Right. And that was my fixed mindset, rearing its ugly head and really creating an obstacle towards creating the life and the body that I really wanted. So what led me to seek out truly sustainable change? And, it was my wedding. So, don't get me wrong, my wedding day was absolutely wonderful. Everything went as planned. It went swimmingly. It was a really enjoyable day. But afterwards, I got my preview photos from my photographer, and, they were beautiful pictures. They were really nice pictures. But there I was looking back at what was one of the best days of my life, and I didn't really like what I saw. I wasn't 100% on board with what I saw. I felt like my arms were huge. I felt like, my tummy was puffed out. My face was so round. I'm sure that you guys can relate to, it's a nice picture, but just kind of picking apart those little things, those problem areas that we all kind of feel and know and share. So I know that you guys kind of understand what I mean by, yes, they were beautiful pictures, but they were still one of the things that forced me to see myself and want to make a true change. Okay. Um, so, that was the moment that I felt it, when I saw those pictures and I realized that I was really getting through, I was getting through life's moments, but I wasn't fully happy throughout those moments. And I realized that in order to be able to live truly happily, that I needed to make real change. Um, like I said, I know some of you guys can probably resonate and relate to wanting to change something about your health and body. So please, in the chat, drop it for me. If there is one thing you could change about your health or your body, what would it be? Drop it in the chat, or if you want to share openly, that's fine too. You can feel free to speak up. Yes, sticking with the routine. Wonderful. Flattening that tummy out. I feel you, girl. I'm right there with you. Okay. And and those are amazing goals because remember, we can still love ourselves and love our bodies while trying to work on improving them or making them however we want them to be, right? And I hope that, by the end of the class, you'll definitely feel more empowered towards making changes towards those particular goals. Yes, the tummy area. You see, girls, I know. We all feel it. All right. So earlier I mentioned my fixed mindset was the thing that was holding me back. So let's talk a bit more about that. Okay. So first off, your mindset is your thoughts and your beliefs that are often very deeply rooted, and they can come from your environment, your past experiences, your upbringing, and they really influence every single decision that you make, and they can really determine whether you become successful in something or fail at something. And there are two major mindset groups: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And it's important to know that you can fall anywhere along, it's a continuum. So you can fall anywhere along the continuum from fixed to growth mindset. Okay. And so that means that, you're not always one or the other. Okay. Each of us is a mixture, okay, of fixed and growth mindsets. And I know that you guys took the quiz. Um, and I saw like a lot of the quiz results. Most people fell under a growth mindset with some fixed ideas, which is this is exactly what I'm talking about. We are a mixture of these things, and it really depends on the situation that we're in. So that means that you can have a growth mindset in one area of your life and a fixed mindset in another area of your life. Okay. All right. I was going to have you guys put your results in the chat, but I know you guys who are here, so I know that you both were a growth mindset with some fixed ideas. So we're going to just, keep it moving. But as I said before, I realized that I had this fixed mindset when it came to my health and my body. My wedding photos were what brought me that awareness to how big that problem had become. But there was still so much in my mind that kept me from just getting started. And it was these thoughts and beliefs, this mindset, that was holding me back. And that is what is fixed. Okay. It was things about myself that I did not think that I could change. So it kept me stuck. Some of the common beliefs that I had were, my stress levels, my chronic exhaustion, that I always had trouble losing weight, and that all of these things were simply a part of my motherhood. It was a part of getting older. I grew up around a bunch of women, older women in my family, and I mean, even my elderly nursing patients, and they ingrained in me that their body challenges and their health issues were attached to their age or their motherhood. And so I grew up hearing things like, and let me know in the chat if you guys heard anything like this, but I grew up hearing things like, "Oh, don't ever get old. You'll always have that baby weight. You'll never be able to lose that last 10 pounds. That baby weight's always going to stick with you." Let me know if any of that sounds familiar, because I heard that so much growing up. And I also had the belief that my busy life, that I was just too busy and I did not have enough time, and that these were, these like insurmountable obstacles. There was no way that I would have enough time to commit to my health goals. Yeah, Cynthia, you heard those things growing up. Thank you. Yes, we all hear them. Don't ever get old. Oh my gosh. Right? But it honestly doesn't have to be that way. But yes, I also thought time was one of my biggest obstacles, that I would never be able to have enough time to commit to my health goals. And that also that, as a mom, I really felt that I needed to prioritize nothing above my child, that I should be put last, that they should always come first. And that really held me back for a very long time, just putting my self-care and my health on the back burner to completely focus on her. Sarafina, I know you got a little one, so let me know. Yes, the mom guilt. Yes, and you can't pour from an empty cup. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's so true. But it's when you're in it, you can't really see that. Sometimes you can't really see that once you're like in the in the stink of it. So it's hard to really get out and get started to try to take care of yourself when you have this guilt that's weighing you down, that you should be focusing on this other person. But all those thoughts, lack of time, I'm too old, I'm a mom, I got to prioritize my kid, I'm never going to lose the baby weight, all of that were fixed mindset beliefs. So simply put, what is the fixed mindset? Simply put, the fixed mindset, it will lead you to believe that your qualities are set in stone, and it will keep you stuck. It'll keep you from achieving what you're truly capable of. Okay? And it's important to recognize that you have a fixed mindset, because if you don't recognize it, you'll never be able um to overcome those internalized beliefs that you've been imposing on yourself, and then move on that spectrum from the fixed mindset over to the growth mindset. Okay. Now, what is the growth mindset? The growth mindset believes that your qualities are developed through your efforts and help from others. So it believes that with hard work and with help from others, you can achieve your goals. And it's really, the growth mindset is where the idea of possibility flourishes. Okay, it's where we know that all things are possible, and that we can achieve anything that we set our minds to. And we're all capable of having a growth mindset. Okay, identifying those areas that you wanted to change earlier, the tummies, the extra tummy belly fat and stuff like that, that shows you that you have the inkling of a possibility for a different version of yourself, for a version of yourself that is more aligned with the life that you truly want to live. Okay, just identifying that you do want change is the first step in moving from that fixed mindset to the growth mindset. So I want to ask you guys, and you can, if it's a lot too much to write. Oh, let me check this chat. Hold on. Another thing I've been hearing, speaking about how we're looked at as women and age, is you're going to be 35. Don't you think it's time to have a kid? It's just so much pressure on women to fit in society standards. Yes, societal pressure is so real. And honestly, it can be so overwhelming that you don't even want to get started. It's like, oh, you have to fit into this particular mold, and you have to be this particular person. And it kind of leaves you feeling so overwhelmed that you're just like, you can't even do anything about it because it's just too much to think about. It's too stressful. Let me know in the chat, or if one of you guys wants to speak up, by all means, but let me know of a time in your life, and it doesn't have to be health related, but let me know of a time in your life that you believed that you could achieve whatever you wanted simply if you worked hard enough and that you could do it.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
Okay, go ahead.
So I remember starting culinary school, and I don't remember at what point they told us that there was a graduation ceremony and that awards would be given out. And one of the awards was valedictorian. And I had said to myself that was going to be my personal goal. I didn't share it with anyone else when I started. I didn't present myself in a way that was smug and wanting to be the best. I just worked my hardest, and that was my quiet goal. And once I graduated, I was awarded valedictorian. And I remember them like saying my name and walking across the little, it wasn't a stage or anything, but walking across the little pathway and thinking to myself, I did it, you know?
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
quiet as it was kept. I worked hard, I did my best, and I got it. And I was just like, that was one of the greatest, one of, there are many great accomplishments in my
Mhm.
life, but that was one of them that I was just like, just so happy about.
Yes. Oh my
That's my
gosh,
little
that's
share.
so amazing. That is so great. No, that is the perfect example. Oh my goodness. Before I move on and share my example, anybody else want to share? If not, it's okay. Okay. So for me, my example would be, this is how I felt. That's how I felt about graduate school. So there I was. I was a busy mom. I was a mom when I went into grad school. I had very little time. I worked a full-time job. And you know, I still had the same mindsets of busy mom, no time, got to prioritize others. Yet I had a growth mindset about my education. I knew that I would succeed at graduate school if I just worked hard and kept pushing. And I did. I graduated with a 4.0 in honors. So it's amazing how you can see that the same version of me told myself that, no matter how hard I tried, I would never be able to achieve my health and body goals. There were so many obstacles that I wouldn't be able to do it. But then there I was, the same busy mom, working full time, needed to prioritize others, had no time. And I was like, nah, I got this. Graduate school, I'm gonna crush that. And I did it. So that shows you how you can have a fixed mindset in one area and a growth mindset in another. Okay. And remember that your mindset is your thoughts and beliefs that are based on your experience, right? So I was always a good student, right? So I never, I had no trouble, believing that I would do well in grad school. Yes, thank you, Serafina. But yeah, so I was always a good student. So I had no trouble believing that I would do well in grad school, but I have often struggled to lose weight and struggled to manage my weight for most of my adult life. So I had such a hard time believing that I could. So those past experiences, as well as, my upbringing, what everybody else was saying around me, all fed into my fixed mindset around my health and my body goals. Okay.
I am so sorry to interrupt, but
No, it's okay.
I love this so much because if you think about it, the little voice in your head telling you, like, yeah, I could do this, you set yourself a personal goal and you just go for it and you achieve it. But it's so funny how that same voice in your head can be so negative towards yourself, where you're like,
Yes.
oh, I'll never be able to do this. I'll never be able to do that. So that was just like a mind blown little thing that
No,
I'm
it's true. And we're going to get a little bit
over.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get a little bit more into the thoughts, and how that piece kind of plays. And
All
you're
right, let me
totally right.
nestle in my chair and pay attention.
I and
No,
yeah,
you're totally right.
I don't want to interrupt either, but I will say, Leanna, one thing that Will has always said about you, that like ever since before I even met you, was that you were always like very ambitious, very driven, very good student.
Oh,
And when I got to know you, like you're really like an inspiration, because you are so motivated and you're driven and you're doing your whole
Oh my
business thing,
gosh.
and it really like puts a fire under my butt to be like, I could do it, you know what I mean? So
Oh,
I appreciate that about you.
oh my gosh. Thank you.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much. Oh gosh. Don't make me cry in my master class. Come
Not trying
on.
to.
Okay. 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 So, like I was saying, having a growth mindset in one area of your life proves that you can achieve a growth mindset in all areas of your life, including your health and your body goals. And with the achievements that you listed, Sarafina, you listed about culinary school, you can already see that you do have that possibility for growth. It's there. Okay. Like I said, most of you guys have a growth mindset with fixed ideas, which is very common. And I just want to point that out because um, that just because you have a growth mindset primarily does not mean that you're in the clear towards reaching your health goals. It kind of sounds like, oh, fixed mindset bad, growth mindset good. Now, growth mindset is often good, very good, but there is a dark side to the growth mindset, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. Okay. So let's get back to the shift that I made um, from my fixed to growth mindset in regards to my health and my body goals and starting my health journey. So there I was. I had recognized that I had my wedding photos. I recognized that I had a problem, and I needed to change, but I wasn't quite yet ready to take action. Why? And that's because true change requires a catalyst. Okay. And my catalyst for change was not only being unhappy with those wedding photos, but I also at kind of at like a kismet moment, I came into being in the proximity of someone who was similar to me, but they were thriving in their health goals. I met another busy working mother like myself, and they seemed like they were just crushing it. They were working hard, they were losing weight, they were just achieving all of their health and body goals. Okay, now initially my fixed mindset was still up in there. It was like, hey, you can't have what she has. No, she probably has tons more time than you. She probably has XYZ. That's why she can do it. You're not like that. You can't have that. And I made a ton of assumptions about her life. And I immediately began comparing, her goals and, my lack of achievement and towards my own goals. But once I actually spoke with her and I got to know her, my assumptions, they were just not true. They were false. She was just as busy. She had a child. She had a man to raise. She had a man to raise. She had a child to raise. She had a man. She had
Let,
Might
let's
not be
family.
be let's be
wrong.
real here.
I mean, yes, I feel y'all. That's not what the class is about today, though. But Freudian slip. No. But we had a very, very similar home life. But the difference was that she just believed that she could crush it, and that no matter what happened, what challenges came up, she felt that she would be able to work past them. And she just knew that she could achieve her goals, and so she achieved her goals. She decided to make time for what mattered to her, and she didn't let any obstacles along the way on her health journey um, stop her or force her into quitting, like I had in the past. So getting to know her really helped me begin to dream again and see what's possible. And after I saw that all that she could achieve, I just wanted a piece of that action. I wanted to be able to change. I wanted to live a fuller life. I didn't want to have to shy away from the events because I didn't want to get dressed, or I was too tired to go out. I wanted to live a fuller life. And so at that moment, she and my wedding photos were my catalyst to decide that no matter how long it took me, or what setbacks I got into along the way, that I was going to start and remain on my journey, no matter what. And so now, as a wellness coach, I really am striving to be that catalyst for other women, and just empowering you guys to see your life with just all of its possibilities. Okay. So now that you guys can recognize your mindset, hopefully with all the little examples I gave you of like my fixed mindset and what was holding me back, hopefully now you can recognize some of the similar mindsets that you've had along the way. Now let's do the work of becoming the master of our mindsets so that we can begin on the path towards, towards getting on our health goals, reaching them, and building a life that is aligned with our true desires. Oop, too much. So to get a little deeper into it, those of you that have a fixed mindset, you guys, these are some of the main characteristics of those with a fixed mindset. So they will feel threatened by the success of others. They may not take criticism too well. They may see, all of their hard work and their efforts along the way as like a waste of time if they didn't achieve a success. So if they didn't get to where they wanted to get, all of that work that they put in, they'll see it as, a waste of time. And so they'll just quit. They won't continue to try to strive to change that failure into a success. They will avoid challenges and they'll give up easily once they're faced with any challenges. And those with the fixed mindset they're more focused on the outcome. So whether or not they succeed or they fail, they're more focused on thinking about that. Whereas those with the growth mindset, they're in control. Okay. They find inspiration and motivation from other people's successes, and they're able to take criticism constructively and use it to change for the better. And they enjoy the process of learning, the process of change. So they view the work and the efforts that they put in along the way as just learning opportunities. And it doesn't matter if they succeed or they fail, they are happy to have just learned and changed and grown along the way. The growth mindset will also persist. They'll embrace challenges. They'll persist when the challenges arise. And an analogy I read in a book once with the growth with that, embracing challenges is they did a study where they gave elementary school kids some puzzles, right? And some easy puzzles and some were harder puzzles. And those that got the harder puzzles and got frustrated, they would just give up, right? That's a fixed mindset. They would just give up. Oh, this is for, say they were 8 years old. This puzzle says 10 years and up. That's why I can't complete it. Forget it. I'm not, I can't do this. They would just give up. But the 8-year-olds with the growth mindset, they wanted the challenge. They're going to try again. They're like, I'm going to try until I get it. So that's kind of the difference between the fixed and the growth mindset. So the growth mindsetters are more focused on the journey. Okay. Now, for you growth mindsets, like I said, it seems like all things are great and you guys are wonderful people. You're going to achieve all your goals. But like I said, there is a dark side to the growth mindset. So the dark side to the growth mindset is that if you believe that you're in control of your situation, that you are able to achieve whatever you set your mind to and that you're in control and you have the ability to make any of those changes that you want, then that means that you also have to realize that you're responsible for where you are right now. Okay. So what does that mean? So if you are finally realizing that, well, yeah, of course, I can change my body. I can get a flat tummy if I want to. But then you also have to realize that you're the reason why you don't have that flat tummy right now. Yeah, I can lose weight. I know I can lose weight. I can achieve anything I want. Well, then you're the reason why you're overweight right now, right? That's what you kind of end up realizing that as a growth mindset. If you know that you can change, then the reason you haven't changed, that's on you at that point. Some other examples is, if you now understand that you're in control of, like your productivity, then now you also realize that you're the reason that you might always be the one procrastinating, right? If you know you have the option to change your eating behaviors, then you know that you're at fault for making unhealthy eating decisions. So that sense of responsibility, knowing that you're responsible for your own unhappiness, it can become very problematic in the growth mindset. And recognizing your ability to change it will also make you feel very guilty or shameful for where you're currently at. And we all know where guilt and shame leave you: stuck. Okay. It causes you to avoid truly facing your current reality, and it'll just keep you stuck, and you won't make any progress towards your goals. So that is the dark side of the growth mindset. So now I want to give everyone an opportunity to just see things, Cynthia. Every time I eat something unhealthy, I go through that entire dialogue of shame. Yes, because you do have a growth mindset with some fixed ideas. So that's your growth mindset there talking to you. That guilt is coming from your growth mindset. You're like, I know better. I know how to eat healthier. I know that this is a poor decision. Why did I do that? And then the shame sets
Exactly.
in.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
yes, I know. And so the shame sinks in, and then now you're just kind of stuck, sitting in the sadness of the moment, right? And but then nothing changes, right? You'll do it again because it just keeps you stuck. That shame will keep you stuck unless you learn how to make the shift, which we will get to very shortly. So now I just want to give everyone an opportunity to see things from both sides. So um, just for people who are solely, mostly fixed mindsets, and so mostly growth mindset, to be able to see things from the other side. So uh, imagine some things with me. So let's imagine that you've decided to work on your nutrition and your fitness, right? And you've taken the leap and you've signed up for one-to-one coaching because you acknowledge that, you've tried things in the past, it didn't work, and you need help from someone who understands and who has the expertise to get you the results and the progress that you want, right? So now you've signed up for this one-to-one coaching, you've decided to make change. Now put yourself in a fixed mindset. The fixed mindset: you've just signed up, you've received all of these new protocols to work on, macros and this and that, and new things to learn, and you immediately begin to feel overwhelmed. Now, the fixed mindset will tell you that you're not gonna be good at this, you're not capable of change, you can't possibly learn all of this new information, you should just give up, this is too much. And what happens? You end up just giving up before you really get started. Let me know in the chat, how would you feel at this point? So you've signed up, you got all these protocols, your fixed mindset is rearing its ugly head. It's telling you that you can't learn all of these things, and you're thinking about giving up. What feelings does that kind of bring out to you guys? You can just type something in the chat. Any kind of emotion that it might bring up to you. Yeah, stuck. Stuck. It definitely would make you feel stuck. It would make you feel, defeated. It could paralyze you. It could make you feel scared. So now let's make a shift. Let's put this same situation into the growth mindset. So the growth mindset signed up for the one-to-one coaching, and they get all these new protocols in, and there's a lot to learn and a lot to go over. The growth mindset will acknowledge, I'm not an expert in this field. That's why I sought out the help and signed up for the coaching in the first place. I'm here to learn. I know it's a lot to learn, but I'm here. That's what I signed up for. I'm here to learn. And the growth mindset will tell you, well, if there are any questions about the protocols or whatever the coach sent me, or throughout along the journey, that's why the coach is there. They're my guide, to help me get this new information, as well as to provide me that accountability and that support through all the good times and the bad times, and that your coach is there and they will do everything in their power to keep you from failing, right? So how does that make you feel now? Do you guys feel like that fear and that defeat and that feeling of stuck that you had as the fixed mindset, it starts to like kind of calm down? You start to feel a little bit safer because the growth mindset seeks out support of others, right? The fixed mindset gets so bogged down in their mind that they get stuck. They can't even make progress, right? So that's kind of showing you in a real-time situation how the fixed versus the growth mindset might react. So, what's the point? We have this one situation, fixed and growth. The point is that you can change your mindset. We just did it. We went from a fixed mindset into a growth mindset with that exercise. And, you can start to think and react in new ways. And remember that, changing your mindset is always going to be a work in progress. It's not something that you're going to just do once and it's going to be done. Okay. Throughout your journey, throughout your health journey, you will move in and out of your fixed and your growth mindset as new situations come up. Okay. But when the important thing is that when you catch yourself in the midst of your fixed mindset, feeling afraid to take action, or you're feeling like a failure, or you're getting discouraged when something gets hard, or something's not working the way you wanted it to work, just remember that, you know, that you can make that change to the growth mindset. And I have come up with 4 steps that can take you from that fixed mindset, or even that dark side of the growth mindset, into the healthy side of the growth mindset. Okay. Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys, a little technical difficulty on my end. Okay. So here are my 4 steps to taking you from the fixed mindset or the dark side of the growth mindset into the healthy side of the growth mindset. So the first step is embrace your fixed mindset or that dark side of the growth mindset. Embrace it. We all have a mixture of growth and fixed mindsets. So let's acknowledge that, let's accept it, and let's remember that we do not have to, that even though we can accept that we have the fixed mindset or the dark side of the growth mindset, that we don't have to accept how often it shows up or allow it to wreak havoc on our goals. Okay. So that's why I spent so much time just identifying and recognizing what it would look like so that you guys can recognize it in yourselves once it's happening. Okay. Another thing, step 2 is to becoming aware of any of your mindset triggers. Okay. So understanding your triggers will let you know what your mindset persona is. Okay. So some common triggers are, maybe when you're embarking on something new, your mind will tell you, you'll have these thoughts of, oh, I don't have what it takes, or, maybe you put it out there in public, your goal, and you're like, oh, everybody will see that I'm not reaching my goals, So that's that negative thought that pops into your head. Okay. That's that trigger that will trigger you to quit that new thing before you even really get going. Maybe your trigger, when you have a trigger when you are having a struggle or, a setback along your journey, and your mind is telling you to give up, that, what's the point? This is not working, just give up. Or maybe it's when you feel like you failed and your mind is telling you that, this is just not in the cards for you. It's not meant to be, and so you'll give up in that way. Or maybe it's, you have a trigger when you start to compare yourself to other people and you think that you'll never be as good as that person, or you'll never be able to lose the weight as quickly as that person did, or why isn't it working for me like it worked for them? These are all mindset triggers that we need to become aware of so that we can create the shift. Okay. Keep them from paralyzing us and keeping and telling us to throwing off our journey and leading to us quitting our journey. Now, step 3 is give your persona a name. Okay, I'm not kidding. I know it sounds crazy, but give your persona a name. Okay, my fixed mindset persona is D. Okay, don't ask me why, but it's D. Now, D often for me, D shows up a lot when I begin comparing myself to other people. So along my journey, I'll see other people that I think are doing better than me, or it's happening faster for them, or whatever. And D will rear her ugly head telling me that, that I'm not doing well, that I'm not making progress like everybody else, that I could be doing better. And the reason why I'm telling you to give your mindset a persona, give your persona a name, is that it will help you separate your fixed mindset or your, that troublesome mindset from yourself. Okay. So instead of it being, I'm telling myself that I'm not good enough or that I can't do this, it's D telling me that I can't do this. Right. And what happens when someone else tells you you can't do something? You want to prove them wrong. Right. So that leads me to step 4, where you'll now educate your persona. So when D shows up, when my persona shows up, I'm ready for her. She's trying to keep me from my setbacks and keep me from moving forward. I will tell her what it is. If she's telling me that, I can't take on any new things, I can't learn new things, I tell her, I can take on new challenges. I can learn new things. I can bounce back from failure. I can try again. I can succeed. I can succeed while supporting others to grow. I don't have to compare myself to other people. I can be happy on my journey while supporting someone else's journey, or that I can even reach out for help if I need to. So giving the mindset a persona is really helpful, because as I know you guys, I know you too. I know you guys that are here today. And if someone was going to tell you that you couldn't do something, you would tell them, you would want to prove them wrong. So think of those thoughts as someone else telling them to you and react to them in that way. Prove them wrong. So when your fixed mindset rises up again, you guys will have the tools to be able to recognize it, to shift it, and thus achieve, progress towards your goals. Okay. So, but just remember that it does take time. Growth takes time. It takes effort. It takes mutual support from others to achieve and maintain. And shifting your mindset will be an ongoing process that you will undoubtedly have to do over and over again. New situations will arise where you begin to question yourself, and those thoughts will arise again, and you'll have to do the whole 4-step process over and over again to keep you on track. Now, you all attended this master class because you have health and body goals that seem a little bit elusive to you, and you want change, but you're finding it difficult to start or to stay consistent or to see the progress that you want to see. And that something has to change, but you feel that change is it's just out of reach. It feels like it's just out of your reach and out of your control. And your mindset is one of those major pieces of that. Okay. As you can see, it held me back for a very long time from even just getting started. Um, and having a coach with the expertise to recognize when you are in that mindset and get you through those mindset blocks is really integral to the towards you making progress. And another piece of having a coach is that you have that support and that accountability while you're on your journey that will get you through any obstacles, through any setbacks that come your way, and it provides an individualized plan towards your goals so that you can make progress as quickly as possible. So I want you guys to do one last exercise with me. I want you to think about your life 6 months from today, okay, or a year from today, okay? How would your life look if you decided to take action now and kept pushing forward in the face of any setbacks instead of giving up? Think about how much closer would you be to your goals? How much closer would you be to those flat tummies if you decided today to start working out, to start eating better, to start moving your body more, to get your mindset right so that you wouldn't quit when any kind of setbacks happen or you're not making progress the way you wanted to? How much closer would you be to your goals than if you just stayed stuck? Okay. And think about what that life looks like. Think about how you look in your bikini with your flat tummy, or in that dress that you've been wanting to wear, or whatever the case may be. Just get that picture of that life, of what that life could be like. And now in the chat, put in the chat for me, from a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to get after these goals now, to start working towards those goals now? 10 being that there is nothing more important than me getting the life that I feel that I want and deserve. So drop those numbers in the chat. I see an 8. Good. I see an 8 and a 9. Oof. Yes. I'm seeing some high numbers around here. You guys are showing such an intense growth mindset right now, just believing that you can. And so, in order to support you guys along your wellness journey, I do have an offer to all those who attended and registered for the masterclass, and you're not going to want to miss out. It's that if you sign up for 6 months of one-to-one coaching with me, you will get 1 month free. And if you sign up for 12 months of coaching, you'll get 2 months free. Okay. Now, why 6 months? Why 2 months? Right. Well, my clients, they don't look for the quick fix. That has not worked in the past. It never worked for me. I would just gain weight back, and it doesn't work for them. They want, the real deal, and they're ready to commit to themselves so that they can achieve long lasting and long-term results. So during this container, during a 6 and a 12-month container, it's important because I can then help you through all of the challenging times that come up through life. I can help you through the holiday eating, can help you through vacations, through emotional and physical stressors that come up throughout the year. And I can strategize for them so that you can reach those sustainable, healthy lifestyles you've been wanting. I can also pinpoint and see when your mindset blocks are rearing their heads, likely before you even realize it. And, you don't have to, just take my word for it. I do have a couple of testimonials here from clients. Ashley said, I've learned that I don't need to be rigid to be accomplished. I've learned to allow myself grace and still make progress. I've become more confident, more comfortable and confident in making health decisions for myself. I wasn't expecting to be able to make myself consistent with my workouts. And I also wasn't expecting to be able to stop taking insulin so soon, but I'm extremely happy. And so many powerful mindset shifts that Ashley's gone through here. She thought she needed an all or nothing mindset, that she had to go guns to the wall to make any kind of progress. But as you see here, she's realized that she can give herself grace and still make progress. And Alana here, she says that she seems to have a 2 month threshold. That's her hump that she can't seem to get over. She'll eat right and work out consistently around 2 months and then fall off the wagon. So she has troubles with sustainability and keeping consistent. She says, now I'm getting better at tracking everything daily. I have better water intake and see more active rings being closed on my Apple Watch. I enjoy the regular check-ins, and the monthly face-to-face meeting is nice. It's working, and Leanna won't let me give up. So if you'd like to take advantage of the special offer and kickstart your new year and get after being your best self, you guys can DM me on Instagram to let me know that you want to take advantage of the special offer. Once again, it's 6 months, get 1 month free, or 12 months and get 2 months free. I really just want to thank you guys so much for attending and spending this time with me tonight. I am truly so thankful. I hope that you enjoyed it and got a lot out of it. At this point, I'm going to stop the recording. Hold on. And let's see, let me stop this recording. And you guys can ask any questions or anything that you